about a little bit more than a year ago, Deebo Samuel requested a trade. The whole offseason was messy. Niner fans kind of turned on him. I mean, he held out, who was the last player who did that? It all worked out in the end, but then he had a real down season with, injuries and just kind of being not at his top shape in any way. In retrospect, should the Niners have just given Deebo Samuel what he wanted, which was a trade?
Man, well, I mean, I think what he wanted was to be paid. And they did give him what he wanted.
Let me rephrase that. Should they have given him what he asked for?
Yeah, there you go. That's fair because he did.
He asked for it. Don't ask for it if you don't want it.
Right. And man, I think obviously a lot of things would change. You can't say that everything would have played out the same if Deebo Samuel was traded. But knowing that they've got CMC on this roster right now, and knowing that it's a little bit redundant between those two, I mean, Deebo's a hell of a player, and I think Deebo's going to bounce back in a big way this year. He's going to come in much better shape, in my opinion. I think he's going to have another very, very good season. However, if you could have avoided paying him all that money and you could have netted a first-round pick, I look at the Jets. They were the one team that offered the most value in return, right? So for me, that's the team that I look at. And this offseason, they just traded Elijah Moore. Well, if you're the 49ers and you could have traded Deebo and a third-round pick for Elijah and a first, I think that might have been worth it.
They could have taken Garrett Wilson, who was the rookie of the year.
Yeah. I mean, either that or they could have drafted a completely different position because they really liked Elijah Moore, who is a little bit more Ayuk than he is Deebo. So
either way,
I think, again, favorite player, the signature is right behind me, but emotion removed from this, knowing that CMC is on this roster, yeah, man, I think if I could do it over, or if I was the front office and they could do it over, and I would say, yeah, I probably would have pulled the trigger on that.
An interesting hypothetical is if the Niners had known that they were going to get Christian McCaffrey, would they have granted Deebo Samuel his request and traded him? Because
I think they would have.
Exactly. Like once you get Christian McCaffrey, all of a sudden you're looking at your $24 million a year gadget player, running back, hybrid wide receiver. Like, man, you know what? You're great, but you're hurt a lot, and we really don't need you like we needed you 2 years ago. So I don't know. It seems like, yeah, they probably should have traded him. And what's interesting about the whole Deebo thing is they coddle him. Can I just say that? They coddle Deebo. Like he sat out the whole offseason. He came back. He was out of shape. He immediately got 7-8 touches a game. Like freaking Brandon Ayuk has 6% body fat. He never misses a practice. He's never misses a game. He looks at Kyle Shanahan wrong, and he gets frozen out for games. It doesn't make any sense. But Deebo Samuel, he could be 225. He could have one hamstring, and Kyle's like, baby, I'm giving you 10 touches today. Like, why? I don't think that makes any... I think it's unfair. And if I were Brandon, I would notice it. I'd be like, what? I don't understand.
I think Brandon does notice it a little bit. I mean, he did tweet on the
Brandon's not coddled. Brandon gets the tough love. Where's the tough love for Deebo?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I got worked up.
I'm not, and obviously, I mean, there's no way to know for sure, but I'm not trying to stir up anything. But Brandon does know that he's the fourth. Yeah. Brandon does know that he's the fourth option. He tweeted it. He knows what it is. And so I'm sure that he's like, man, if you gave me 10 tries at this a game, I bet you I could put up 1,400 yards too. You know?
I bet you I wouldn't drop 2 of them like Butterfingers over here.
Although Ayuk does drop a few himself. He has some weird ones that he drops.
He dropped one in the end zone last year that was uncontested that I think Niner fans can't get out of their mind. It was right there.
You know which one I can't get out of my mind?
Which one?
The one against Seattle in the second game. It was completely meaningless. But if he had caught that, Grant, I would have won roughly $800 for my fantasy football league. So, but he dropped it, and so I didn't win.
$800 is a lot. Damn. Also, the one when Brock Purdy ran left and then ran back to the right, and did a
Yeah,
pirouette
that was
and
the
then
other one.
hit.
Yeah,
He dropped that one. That's true.
yeah.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
but no receiver is perfect by any
Deebo
means.
drops like 11 a game, though. I mean, let's be honest. Give or
Deebo does
take.
have a lot of drops as well. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, they could have had Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson and for cheap, and still had McCaffrey. I wonder how they're gonna work that one out with Deebo. Like, is Deebo? You expressed optimism. I like that about you. You seem optimistic by nature. I don't have any feeling for whether or not Deebo Samuel's gonna come back
Yeah.
in shape this year. I mean, he likes Mike and Ike's. That's all I can say. He likes the Mike and Ike's. And he's been eating the Mike and Ike's. So I don't know how many. Where is that? Because I'm trying to lose weight right now, and you can't be eating Mike and Ike's like that when you're trying to lose weight. And I'm just trying to lose 5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It's those last 5 that you're trying to lose. You can't be losing them. You know what I'm saying? You can't be 6% body fat with eating Mike and Ike's. It's the rule. It says it on the box.
Well, probably better than Fun Dip. The reason I think he's going to have a
Fun
better
Dip.
season is so good.
It's so
The reason that I think he's going to have a bounce back season is because last offseason it was all about getting paid. And what comes along with that is you can't do those extra workouts. You can't risk an injury. You just can't do it. Everything is on the line for you. If he goes out and he worked as hard as he could and popped an Achilles, that's it for him. He doesn't get that money. He doesn't get that life-changing, generational changing kind of money. And so he had to play it easy. And it was obvious that he played it easy. I don't begrudge him for that. But that means now that you've been paid, this offseason, you've got to come in as good as you can. And I think it's going to look very, very different than it did last year. I mean, you called them like a double Deebo with cheese last year. I don't remember what you called them, a McDeebo, or I don't know what it was, but it was funny. And yes, I don't expect him to look like that this offseason.
Well, we've been seeing him working out, and we saw that he's been deadlifting 225 pounds. So watch out! Here comes Deebo. No, I'm just kidding. He's doing good. I know, like, professional athletes don't really deadlift. Like, it's not an explosive activity. You want to
No.
I've been trying to do cleans. I look like such a dork trying to do cleans. I'm not very coordinated, and I don't have a lot of weight on the bar. So and I feel sick. 15
actually post that video.
Buddy.
Let's slow-mo analyze your clean form, the way that we analyze Trey Lance's throwing motion.
That would be awful. I've been watching Eric Crocker post his workout videos, and part of me wants to post mine, but then I remind myself, like, no one wants to see that. No one. People want to watch the former football player do his thing. No one wants to see that, and I got to remind myself that because,
you should.
I'm a little vain.
You should make.
But I don't have the body to pull it off.
Of it, where it's like you're lifting like 8 pounds. And just making it look like the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
would be pretty good. Plumbing God 42. Wow. The God of plumbing. This is either Mario or someone who does something way different. Trey Lance's hairline looks like a weed whacker with a rubber band on the trigger running wild on a lawn. I don't understand why he would do this to himself. I feel like he feels he could have like a hairband or a hat and it'll kind of look good. But like, man, I think the best look at this time would be to just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah, or you could do like the shave like stubble look, but then you can get the tattoo like hair, so it looks like the whole hairline's there. I mean, you could
That's
work
a great
that in.
idea. I think that's the way to go. That's what I would do.
Yep.
Dave Barclay says yes. Still say get rid of Deebo and fire Kyle. Wow. So does my dad. Kyle. I mean, look, I just feel like it's going to be week 8 and Sam Darnold's going to be playing and a lot of Niner fans are going to be like, what the hell is going on here? But let's see. Let's give Kyle the benefit of the doubt. Niners Throwback says, will Trey Lance's footwork ever improve? I think it will. I think it has.
I also don't think he has horrible footwork. I don't think his foot, I mean, I guess, what do you consider footwork? But if he knows how to do a 3-step drop, he knows how to do a 5-step drop. He knows, I don't understand. I don't know what you mean.
We're talking about making his feet work for him, letting his lower body generate power like that. We're not saying he has terrible footwork. It's more nuanced to that. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Where's the tough love for any of the Cabo clique? Honestly, it feels like it's a fraternity, the team. Very fratty, the team. And there's like, the social chair and the president, and there's the inner sanctum that all hang out together, and then there's the brothers, and then there's the pledges. And it feels like Ayuk's been a pledge forever. I don't understand why they treat him like that. It's not fair. But Deebo is
But
definitely
the
the social share.
brothers are also some of the retired players, like Joe Staley. You know, they get to come back and
And
haze some of the
Kyle.
pledges, and
Kyle's in the fraternity, even
I know
though,
he is.
yeah, he's from corporate. Uh,
He's
Timothy
from
Glanders,
corporate.
right? Like, he's 40. J. Mark Garza says nobody in the Cabo crew has ever been in Kyle's doghouse, but tips plays, drops, misses games every year. BA is too hardcore for that soft crew. There's so much truth to that. I mean, look, Trent Williams is over here tipping plays, and Kyle's like, fine by me. Brandon Ayuk, like, breathes on him the wrong way, and Kyle's like, how dare you? Now you think you're going to get the ball? I don't know. J. Mark?
That might have been the first time that you just dropped a falsetto with me on the show, and it was like an angel came from the other side of the screen. That was crazy.
Thank you. Fun fact about me, I really am good at falsetto.
Yeah.
I'm like, remember The Dream?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the nightmare.
I was gonna say, where are you going with it?
Muid says trade needs Tory Lane's hair transplant surgeon. I've never seen Tory Lane's. I know about him,
but
I've never seen him.
He needs Brian Urlacher and Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders has a full head of hair now at like 55 or whatever he is.
If you ever go to Chicago, you see billboards of Brian Urlacher with a full head of hair everywhere. It's like you're on the moon. It's really weird. Yeah. That being said, though, I always feel like if LeBron James, like one of the most wealthy athletes in the world, can't figure out some Rogaine that works for him, the technology doesn't exist.
It does though with transplants. The problem is when you're still playing or you're wearing a helmet, you can't because it messes everything up. So it's like one of those things where Trey's going to lose all of his hair in the next few years, and then he's going to be 50. You're going to see him come back as an alum, and he's going to have a full head of hair, and you're like, what? How did that happen?
So one day LeBron and Kevin Durant are going to have like full luscious heads of hair.
I guarantee it. Especially LeBron. He seems very like all
I don't think Kevin Durant cares at all.
No, he's like, I'm just hooping.
I like that about Kevin. All Niners says, hey, y'all, if Kittle injures his right shoulder, are we blaming it on the WWE clothesline? Yeah, absolutely. Gammon Brown says, who wins Super Bowl first? Salah, McDaniels, or Shanahan? Or D'Amico?
D'Amico.
None of them.
None of them have a quarterback that I would.
With none of them?
Yeah.
The only coach from this tree who's won a Super Bowl is McVay. And he gave up the whole running play action stuff and just got a quarterback and said bombs away. Like, who else from this coaching tree is willing to do that? I don't know. We'll have to see. Stay tuned, folks. Till next week. Nathan Flores says it's April 12th, 2026, and Kyle Shanahan still doesn't have a franchise quarterback. Thank you, Nathan. That was well done.